Fascinating. Welcome back to Unit 5, Part 2, English 3. You said you would help. And in this case, we're looking at something that is fascinating. With me, Professor Neil, and my TA, Younghee.
Hello, TA Younghee. Fascinating. How to say?
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yes, fascinating is something that's really interesting.
Excellent?
Yes, excellent, fascinating. So we're going to start with some warm-up questions to prepare you for the vocabulary that's going to come up in this section. So we have some of the examples here: badminton, someone on the phone, and fascinating Stonehenge. So Younghee, come join me at the table.
Hi.
Hi. All right. Today, what did your mother say to you?
My mother said she loved me.
Your mother said that she loves you. Very nice, Younghee. And usually, what do you like to do?
I usually like to play piano.
And how do you play the piano?
First, I do the fingering practice with the hanong, and then I choose the music piece I want to play well for about 1 or 2 hours.
Okay.
And then, finish.
Good, good. Excellent. So you like to play the piano and you like to practice for 1 or 2 hours.
A day.
A day. Wow. What is a fascinating place you want to visit and why?
I'd like to visit Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Good choice. Why?
Because I'm interested in the Druid history.
Oh, the Druids, yes. Magic.
And how those people move those massive, mega big stone to there for what reason?
We don't know. Bit much like Denny's reason for not playing basketball anymore. Well, that's a nice little warm-up. Gives you an introduction to the grammar and vocabulary that we're going to practice in Part 2. Warm-up end. So in Part 1, we did the starter, we did the dialogue, we did the grammar. Now we're going to look at Speaking 1, phone conversations. So we have the men. The men are going to work on a project together. Take turns asking and answering questions about their phone conversations. Shift the verbs to the past tense.
Shift means change.
Change, yes. So here you got, what did Michael say? He said that he was excited to start the project. So Younghee, I'll ask you the question about Michael, and you can tell me what he said, okay? What did Michael say?
He said he was excited to start.
Michael, said that Michael, was excited to start. So you notice here it says, I am excited to start. So Michael phoned Younghee, told her that he is excited to start, and now, when I ask her, she can tell me what he said.
In the past.
In the past. So here, you got said is past tense, and we've added was to make it past tense. So let's practice another one before lunch. What did Dave say?
Dave said he was worried about the timing.
Good, Younghee. Notice how she didn't say that, because that is optional.
Oh, we got hamburger and French fries.
Yes, French fries was optional, but I decided that we should both eat French fries.
Ooh, yummy.
Yes, good choice.
Look like quarter-pound cheese.
Quarter pounder with cheese and fries and Big Mac. Excellent. Alright. So, as it says, take turns asking each other the questions about what Sam, Alec, Barry, Lucas said. So I'll just try with Yonghee. For Sam, you ask me the question.
Professor Neil, what did Sam say?
He said that he wanted to meet the team.
Okay.
What did Alex say?
He said he hoped to impress the client. And what did Barry say?
He said that he will set an agenda. And what did Lucas say?
Lucas said that he was going to write a proposal.
Yes, so Michael, Dave, Sam, Alec, Barry, and Lucas are going to work hard on a project together. And it looks like they are excited to get started. So remember, with this dialogue, to shift the verbs to the past tense, meaning to change them. So say becomes past, and here am became was. Alright, to make it past tense.
Professor, I have one question. For Barry. Yeah. When I asked question, what did Barry say? Professor, you said he said that he will set an agenda. So I know will is a future. So don't we need to change to would?
It's an option.
So you can say will as well?
You could. Alright? But if you say would, then that changes it to a possibility. So, but he says he will, so there's a certainty.
Okay, so then will, would is not necessarily for past tense category.
Yes, and it doesn't work because will is a modal auxiliary verb.
Okay.
And modal auxiliaries don't have so much tense in them.
So if someone is so sure about it, they will keep will.
Yes.
Even though the tense changes.
Yes, but because the idea is the tense will come with the set rather than the will.
Okay, that was the one question.
Good question. Well worth considering. And look for that in the homework. That is going to be in part 2 homework. Speaking to, we're on to speaking to badminton. I hope you like badminton. Yonghee, do you like badminton?
I love badminton.
Do you know the rules?
I think so.
Okay, well, we're going to look at some of the rules. So, alright, so here we have to take turns asking questions about the rules of badminton. So the question is always going to be saying, what is the rule about? What is the rule? What is the rule? For each case, you've got the court has to be indoors, the players, the start, the serve, scoring, the net, rest periods, and fouls. So we're going to ask the questions and give the answers about the rules of badminton. Are you ready, Yonghee?
Yes.
So you can see the question, what is the rule about the court? So the first part is the court. And the court has to be indoors. So the rule is that the court has to be indoors. So that's our example. Let's now practice with me asking Yonghee the question. What is the rule about the players?
The rule is that there must be 2 or 4 players.
Very good, Yonghee. Okay. So what is the rule about the start?
The rule is that a coin toss determines who will start.
What is a coin toss?
Ching.
Yes, flicking the coin in the air and calling.
So who gets head or tail?
Heads or tails, yes. So what do you call it in Korean?
We call it front or back.
Pretty simple. We call it heads or tails.
Why heads or tails?
Because the coins usually have the king or queen's head on one side, and on the back you usually have an animal like a lion.
Oh.
And And so we say heads for the king or queen and tail for the lion.
Oh, I was always curious about that. Why they just don't call it in a front or back? Because in the Korean coins, front is some figure or the drawing, like a crane bird or the famous person Lee Sun-shin, Admiral Lee Sun-shin. In the back, there always a number, like 100, 1.
But you can still
50,
toss the coin.
500. Yes, so that's what we call it, front or back. But in English, I heard they call heads and tail. I couldn't.
Heads or tails.
Heads or tail. Okay, good information.
Thank you, Yonghi. Alright, so the next one, the serve. What is the rule about the serve?
The rule is that the players have to serve diagonally.
What is diagonally?
Diagonally means not straight with the 90-degree angle. It has to be 45 angle.
Yes, at an angle, So the main point is diagonally means at an angle, not straight. Oh, look, it's in London. Must be the Olympics. Alright, so the scoring. What is the rule about scoring?
The rule is that the shuttlecock must land in the opponent's court.
Yes, last unit we talked about the word opponent. Opponent is the person opposite you, that you are fighting or playing against.
Enemy.
Enemy as well, yes. And so here in the picture you see the shuttlecock. Alright, and you hit it back and forth with your badminton racket and you try to make it land in your opponent's court.
Within the line.
Within the lines. What is the rule about the net?
The rule is that the players cannot touch the net.
Yes, don't touch the net. So, obviously, if you're a player, you should not touch the net. If you touch the net, you lose the point. And of course, the shuttlecock must also cross over the net. So those are the rules. Next rule. What is the rule about rest periods?
The rule is that there are 2 rest periods between games.
Nothing like a good rest. So in like soccer, it's a little bit different. There is a rest at half time. But yes, in badminton, between games, the players rest. Fouls. What is the rule about fouls?
The rule is that the referee may penalize players.
So to penalize the players means what?
Give a player disadvantage by deducing the point or giving yellow card or red card, something like that.
Yes. In soccer, yes. I think in badminton there are no red or yellow cards. I don't know. But usually, yes, they take away points. They deduct points. That was badminton. That was the rules of badminton. And like with Speaking 1, there is going to be homework. So you will notice in the homework that some of it requires you to complete the sentences about the rules of badminton. So please refer back to the video if you need assistance. Next, Speaking 3. Speaking 3, we're using whether or not, which means you have a choice. You're making a decision, a choice about something. So talk about the expected outcomes of these situations with a partner. So here we're looking at a choice about the future, a prediction about what will or won't happen. Will it break? Whether it will break is unclear. So it break, unclear. Will it break? Whether it will break is unclear. Meaning, it is the cup. If the cup hits the ground, will it break? Is unclear. But it's a china club, so probably it's going to break. But there might be a carpet, so we don't know. It's unclear. We cannot see more, so it's unclear. So Yonghee, will he score?
Whether he will score or not is doubtful.
Why is it doubtful?
Because the net is very narrow, and then there is a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper seems to be blocking the entrance of the puck, but he might score.
Yeah, so whether he will score, he won't score, he might score is doubtful. Doubtful, but possible. It is possible too. So let's try some without the pictures. So Yonghee, will she walk again?
Whether she will walk again is questionable.
So questionable means what?
Still not clear.
Yes, doubtful or unclear. So most of these words like unclear, doubtful, questionable, unpredictable, uncertain, debatable are similar in meaning.
So not confirmed.
Not confirmed. Will it rain?
Whether it will rain is unclear, doubtful, questionable, unpredictable, uncertain.
Debatable.
That is a bit strange.
Yes, but it's possible to
use.
use.
Debatable against God.
Against God, yes. Will they finish in time?
Whether they will finish in time is uncertain.
Yes, they look stressed. They look really stressed, so they probably do want to finish in time. Will she win?
If she was in the Queen's Gambit, might.
Yes, the Queen.
But whether she will win is debatable.
So when it's debatable, it means it's possible she might win. It's much more possible. So probably more a 70% chance of her winning. If it's doubtful, it's more like 50 or 40%. So each of these adjectives leave us with a little bit of uncertainty about the future and possible outcomes. But we'll leave you to ponder that. Those ones are not in the homework. And we'll move on to speaking for. Speaking for. Fascinating places. Remember that word, Yonghee? Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yes. Take turns telling a partner facts about some of the world's most fascinating places. So we have Stonehenge, Antelope Canyon, Taj Mahal, Tianji Mountains, Lake Hillier,
Tianzi,
and El Caminito
del Rey.
Alright, so we have the question, what is fascinating about Stonehenge? Stonehenge? Fascinating.
It is fascinating that it was a 1,500-year project to build.
Yes, so pay attention because these questions will be come up in the homework again. So we've got the top bit and the bottom bit, and you've got the green goes in the question and the blue goes in the answer. So Yonghee, what is interesting about Antelope Canyon?
It is fascinating that it was flash flooding that carved the corridors.
So these corridors are the lines between the rocks. So flash flooding means sudden flooding. Flash flooding means sudden flooding. Lots and lots of rain, just carving holes and corridors in the rocks over a long time.
We have a similar cave.
Oh, then we should go visit there. Okay, excellent. So let's try this with Yonghee. You ask me the questions, I will answer them.
Professor Neil, where is Taj Mahal?
India.
Okay. What's curious about Taj Mahal?
It is curious that its exterior is perfectly symmetrical.
We can use the same adjective. Okay. Professor Neil, what is surprising about Tianzi Mountains?
It is surprising that an ancient ocean covered its peaks, meaning in the past it was under the sea. Ooh, that's something to think about.
And what is unusual about the Lake Hillier?
It is unusual that it is the color of pink bubblegum.
Ooh.
Sounds great. And lastly?
What is scary about El Caminito del Rey?
It is scary that the footpaths are over 100 meters high. That would be quite a difficult commute to school or university.
Professor Neil, have you ever been any of these places?
Just Stonehenge. So that means I've got 5 places on my bucket list now. And if you remember, in Unit 4 we had the bucket list. And so, how about you, Yonghee? Where have you been to any of these places?
None of them. Fingers crossed. Maybe one day.
One day.
I'm interested in a Taj Mahal.
Well then, do some homework about it. Do some homework. And yes, you guys at home, if you're interested in those, do some homework. Also check the homework because you're going to be asked to do some answers. Alright, so self-practice. That's self-practice. You can do that in your own time. That's not in the homework. Fill in those sections. Classroom activity, as usual. We're going to say do that when we get back to the class. We're going to do that when we get back to the class. The listening. We are not going to do the listening today. We are going to do the pronunciation. No, we're going to do the reading. So for the last thing is the reading on page 42. So listen up. I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to ask Yonghee the questions. So listen up for the reading. Dragon Quest. Little girl spends big bucks. Oh, wait. Let's just get in the right. There we go. Little girl spends big bucks. Anna Hitoshi loves to play Dragon Quest. It is her favorite smartphone game. Unfortunately, neither Anna nor her mother knew that Dragon Quest involved real-life purchases. When they were at the hair shop one day, Anna asked her mum if she could buy some dragon's eggs. Without thinking, Anna's mother said she could. She assumed that dragon's eggs were just a fantasy item in the game. The fact that each dragon egg cost $1 was a shock to Anna's mother. When she received her bill, she learned that Anna bought over 500 eggs in one day. The total monthly bill was more than $1,000. Anna's mother called the phone company. They said that she approved making credit card purchases on her phone. They also said that there was no way for them to help. Anna's mother didn't give up. She was sure there was a way of fixing the problem. Anna's mother explained the situation to the game company, and they were very understanding. They agreed to cancel all the charges. Anna still loves Dragon Quest, but her mother wonders whether it is a good game for children.
Very interesting story.
Yes, so young Anna Hitoshi, was playing a smartphone game, and she would ask her mother if she could buy dragon's eggs, but she didn't tell her mother that the dragon's eggs cost $1. And Anna bought in one day 500 eggs in one day. And then eventually, when her mother found out, Anna had bought over $1,000 of eggs. Her mother called the phone company. They said, we don't care. Sorry, we're not going to help you. So Anna's mother didn't give up, because she was probably quite angry. Spoke to the game company, and the game company was very understanding and agreed to cancel all the charges. And now Anna still loves Dragon Quest, but she probably cannot buy any dragon's eggs
anymore.
Yeah, quite a wonderful story.
It happens quite frequently.
Yeah.
In Korea too.
So you have the questions there. So let's just ask Younghee, what did Anna's mother not know about Dragon Quest?
She did not know about the fact that dragon's eggs cost money.
Yes, she did not know that Dragon's Quest eggs cost money. What did Anna ask her mother at the hair shop?
Whether she can purchase dragon eggs.
Yeah, and what was a shock to Anna's mother?
Dragon Quest eggs purchasing involved real-life purchases, and that the total monthly bill was more than $1,000.
Yeah, and why didn't Anna's mother give up after talking to the phone company?
Because the phone company said its credit card already approved, so they can't do anything about it.
Okay. And what does Anna's mother wonder about Dragon Quest?
Anna's mother wonders whether it is a good game for children.
Maybe it's a good game, but it's costly if you're not checking the bills for the parents. But that bit's not in the homework. Lucky you. That's just in the video. The grammar bit at the end, that's again for you to practice in your own time. This is for self-study and for practice for when you come up to any future English language tests. But for now, that is Unit 5, Part 2, finished. And that is English 3, Unit 5, the end. Thank you for joining me, Professor Neil, and my TA, Younghee.
Yes, it's fascinating to finish everything now.
Wow,
Bye.